Welcome to As the Story Grows. I'm Brian Patton. Today we welcome Post Profit to the podcast, the whole band. Post Profit just released their Sharptone Records debut, Self-Defeater. The guys talk about evolving out of the metalcore scene, not putting a lot of effort into the band's name, being a part of Sharptone's roster, their musical influences, and more. Self-Defeater is a great 6-song EP, so go make it a part of your weekend jams. As the Story Grows has a wonderful little Discord community that you can be a part of. Bodybuilding Berserker joined us on Discord when the podcast left social media. On chapter 446 with Casey Hurd, he said, "Listen to the interview while getting ready this morning. Now I'm one play through the album. Super sick. I don't know how I missed this one. These dudes are sick. Appreciate the show, always helping me find more fun bands." You can find a link to hang out on Discord in the show notes, as well as links to the mailing list on Substack and our Patreon page, where you can get early access to every episode for $1 a month. Enjoy today's conversation with Post Profit. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you? Good.
I'm good. Why don't you, since all of you are here, just state who you are and what you do in the band so people know your voice when you talk.
I'm Zach. I play drums and sing.
I'm Matt. I sing and play guitar.
Nick. I play guitar.
I'm Charles. I play bass.
Nice. You guys are currently in Texas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Austin,
Texas right now.
Nice. Austin. That is not where you guys are from. Are you close to Austin? I don't know where Longview is in relation to
About
Austin.
4 hours from here.
About 4 hours, so far.
Closer to Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Are you just in Austin for the show, or did you guys move to Austin?
Yeah, we're on a tour right now, so this is just a stop.
Nice. That's awesome. How's life in Texas right now?
It's good. It's not
good.
bad.
It's pretty.
Considering we've not been here much this month.
Yeah,
It's not bad.
it's been going pretty good.
Nice. As a lifelong East Coaster, Texas is one of those places that's just like weird. It's like Austin's cool, and then it's like for me, it's like Texas and Florida. Like,
No, they
Right?
are odd places. You're not wrong, bro. We live out in the woods, and we don't hang out with anybody but us. So it'd be one of those things.
Yeah, that's awesome. You all grew up in the Longview area?
Yeah. Except Charles.
I'm from LA.
He's from LA.
You're from LA. What led you from LA to Texas?
Well, I still live in LA, but just touring with these big boys.
Nice. Nice. What was growing up like?
In Longview, shoot, I guess it wasn't too bad. It could have been worse, I guess, but I mean, not too bad. I guess your stereotypical small town. I had about 100 people in my graduating class. I fucking had animals and shit my whole life. I don't know. One of those things, bro. I don't know.
I was very introverted in high school and growing up and stuff like that. I locked myself in a room and was just playing guitar. So that's pretty much.
He used all his experience points on music. So
yeah.
I mean that's cool. I did the same, so
it's okay.
There's like a group of people, and it's like you played sports, and then you discovered music, and you're like, well, fuck sports. I'm just gonna play guitar all the time now, right?
Pretty much.
That's awesome. What got each of you into music?
Probably my uncle was a big influence for me.
I would say my dad. My dad got me into music when I was young. I got my first drum set when I was 2.
Wow.
And my dad always played these albums for me pretty much growing up. And yeah, so I would say my dad.
Yeah, my mom for me, for sure. She attempted learning how to play guitar, and I pretty much just stole her guitar. And just
Mine's kind of a long story, but
Do it.
I didn't know what a bass was until I played Rock Band. And as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh my God, that's what that is. And I just fell in love with it and ran with it.
Nice. You don't hear many stories of somebody like discovering the bass and falling in love with the bass and being a bass player.
Yeah.
I mean, they exist, but usually it's like there were 4 guitar players, so I play bass. Right?
No, I played bass 2 years before I ever played guitar. I'm a little bit of a bass geek.
His name on Instagram is Charles Plays Bass. All you need to know.
Needs to know. I have to hammer it home.
That's all you need to know.
It was kind of funny. Before he came in to practice with us, the first practice before the Nothing More tour, I literally was like, well, we'll find out if his name is accurate or not. It'd be pretty bad if he came all the way here from California and he couldn't play bass.
You're going to have to change your name to Charles Kinda Plays.
Or Charles can't play bass.
Charles hopes to play bass.
Charles aspires.
What was the music scene like for you guys? You're a small town. Like, was there something locally, or were you guys having to go to Dallas for shows when you were in high school?
Definitely a lot of Dallas shows. I mean, Longview has a music scene, like a bar scene, like cover bands.
Predominantly country bands.
Yeah, country and metal and some blues. But
and then us, we're just somewhere in the middle.
And then us, wherever we are at.
Yeah.
We're just like, hi guys.
You have like the Pantera band style bands, and then you have like the
straight country bands.
Yeah,
and then us.
Yeah,
we're like definitely the oddball where we live for sure.
Yeah, I was seeing Matt. You were doing like metalcore before. What led you into like metalcore? Like, was that the big influence on you when you were young?
Yeah, I mean,
you're still young.
My first band that I was in was with a couple of friends of mine that they just asked me to be in it, and that was like my first band experience, and that was around the time around like 2007, 8, when Longview had like more of a post-hardcore metal scene, and then nationals were coming through. There was a venue called The Bridge that we used to go to for all the shows, and that was like the one thing I looked forward to.
Like the only place you could go to see a decent band.
Like Confides played there, Word Alive, We Came as Romans, like Memphis Mayfire, all those bands came through there at one time.
Like the early days.
Early days. And so I was very into like the hardcore metalcore scene, and then that died off and I was still going with it. And so it pretty much stuck with me, and then I really just kind of got burned out on it just because a lot of it, that I was doing I felt stagnant in what I was doing. And so once I started kind of broadening my horizons a little bit, that's when my influences pretty much grew into what we're doing now. So
1, 2, 3.
Something wicked is coming right out of the palms. It's just the way it goes, with no sign of paradise. It follows behind closer than you know. It's something that you don't wanna pay for yet. Can you feel it coming? I want you face the crowd and let them figure you out.
Let's talk about Post Profit. How'd the band get started?
So we how do we
collectively we just started like jamming like at Nick's house for about a year before we had a name or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And
before we even jammed at my place, we were playing jams at bars. We were just playing open jams and just kind of playing covers and just kind of getting drunk and playing
from like 9 to 2 in the morning, and then have to go to work at 8 a.m. the next morning. Like, that was a pick your poison type of thing.
Yeah.
So,
we did that for like a year though or so, like in the beginning stages before we were Post Profit, and then we got booked for a show and didn't have a name, so that's kind of how we formed Post Profit officially. You know what I'm saying? Like we're all jamming beforehand, but yeah, we basically decided we needed a fucking name when we were like, hey, if somebody's gonna pay us money to come play, we kind of need a name.
Well, no, that first show wasn't to get paid.
It was just exposure that time. Yeah.
It was at this place called Nine Muses that was like in Tyler, Texas, and it was like you go down and it's just like this parking garage had couches in there and everything, and that was where our first actual show was.
It was freezing cold on Halloween. It was a Halloween show.
Brutal.
Oh,
we were like huddled around a fire outside right before we went in because this place is like not air conditioned or insulated in any way.
It's completely it's basically outside.
Basically
covered.
Outside, but you're inside.
Yeah. We were outside in like some suspenders and black shirts and like black pants and Converses for like Halloween. That was the extent.
And we sucked. so bad.
But we thought we were super lit.
We thought we were so lit. We had all these like Frankenstein amps behind us and everything. One of the speakers was broke and
oh man,
couldn't hear nobody. Like the whole 9 yards, you know.
It was awful.
But that's how we started.
I mean, we pretty much like at that point we were playing like basically all covers and starting to work in, you know, a couple originals here and there and sliding them in to the point, you know, where we basically did that for a while until all the covers were gone and
we actually did that all the way up until the first album like dropped. That was like when we completely stopped playing covers.
That was
in the set.
Yeah, our album release show, we played our record from front to back, and that was the first show in our hometown that we played no covers.
Nice.
Which it's hard to do where we live because, like we said, it's just predominantly cover bands and country artists. So if you're not playing something that somebody wants to hear, you're basically not going to get booked. You know?
Yeah.
So it's you know, small town rules type shit, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll still play like occasionally. We'll throw a cover in. We've done it a few times on the tour we're on, and it's been fun. It's fun, but I'm definitely glad to be out of that era.
Yeah.
It's great. You know, it's great fun, but
it feels more liberating now because on this tour we've seen people like sing the words back.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh shit, we wrote this and they're singing it. So it's like, you know,
it's nice that it has meaning for people as much as it does for us, you know.
Yeah. That's cool. What led you to Post Profit as the band name?
Band name generator.
Yeah.
remember about that show we told you about?
Yeah.
That was about 24 hours
Your
before
voice,
the show.
Your voice needed a name, man. How else do you do it real quick? When you're
we went through like
200.
200 names.
Man.
In like a span of 2 hours. Just like
the one that was like one of the last ones we had seen right before the Post Profit one. Okay. It was
always say this shit.
It's hilarious.
It is hilarious and a piece of vital information.
I don't know how the computer why the computer went here, but the name before Post Profit was The Bride Signals Bukkake.
I was so confused. I was like,
we definitely hit next faster than you could say holy shit.
We all were like, this is not gonna work, guys. I gotta come up. We gotta figure something else out. This band name generator is ridiculous.
We came up with some ideas and they were pretty shitty, not gonna lie. And then Post Profit came up literally right after that, and I was like, okay, that works.
Oh man, that's so funny.
But Post Profit, like once we land on that, we sat there and we're like,
it rolled off the tongue.
This goes pretty hard. Like,
yeah,
it has a double meaning. You know, it's like Post Profit. What does that mean? It's like after the money, or you know, like you're chasing the money, or if you just say it, you don't know what the spelling is. You have the profit part. It's kind of got the religious vibe. So not that we are about that at all. And that's not why we went there. But people have mentioned that to us, so we take that into account now. But
gotcha.
I mean, it's just, and it has that like the alliteration, the Post Profit. It's like the Foo Fighters, you know, bands like that. Just
it
just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah,
just a memorable one, and it's different. It's like what you know. So, but we like wordplay, so I think that's why we kind of stuck with it.
Nice. Nice. When you guys started writing music together, what were your influences or things you were hoping to sound like than you were drawing from?
Well, I mean, in the early days, we were listening to a ton of Nothing But Thieves, Highly Suspect.
Highly
sure.
Suspect. Those are the main two. Royal Blood.
Deftones.
Deftones, Incubus. And I mean, those two for sure. We like a lot of those bands. We still jam.
Yeah, we still listen to all
those bands.
I think heavily Deftones and Incubus inspired at the beginning. I think now it's molded into more
like Failure,
Quicksand. Still Deftones vibes, but like
Rival Schools, Handsome.
But like we still kept the Foo Fighters like rock, bass. You know what I'm saying? But like we kind of. I don't know, man. I think we, at this point now, as a band, I think we kind of pride ourselves on being different. We don't really try to be not necessarily one thing. Like if we can describe ourselves as a melting pot, I think that would be a better way to say it, because we're not just like one. I don't know. Our whole EP is not just one thing. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there's some post-hardcore. There's fucking some metal. There's some. Heavier aspects. There's a lot of melodical shit, So, I mean, It really just varies. I feel like we try to give everybody a little bit of everything that you like,
Yeah. Yeah. Because I remember hearing like Cancer Culture when that video hit YouTube, and I was like, oh, it's like 90s core.
Definitely 90s feels, man. The Alice in Chains harmonies and
yeah,
shit.
Yeah. You hear a little Nirvana in there. You hear a little bit of...
But I would say, like out of the whole EP, that's the main. I would say like that's got the main '90s vibe.
Yeah.
But
that and Drug Emporium for sure.
Even when we were doing that, like we knew that it was that chorus. You're like, oh, this is like a freaking '90s song chorus. Yeah. But we still tried to keep it modern and with the bridge and production elements and do just something a little different that. I don't know, something we hadn't done yet. So
yeah. You guys released a few singles, 18, 19, and then the pandemic hits. Like, were you just like, okay, now we have time to write, or were you just like, well, fuck?
We were all like,
we were almost gonna drop the first record.
Yeah, the record
before the pandemic, and then
the record wasn't finished at that point either.
No,
but, I mean, okay, he says that loosely. It was done what we thought was done, and then the pandemic hit, and then we ended up adding more, but. At that point, right before the pandemic hit, actually, and everything closed down, we were supposed to go on a tour, and then, I mean, of course, the world shut down. The day the shutdown was for everybody, but
whatever March 18th or
March 18th,
yeah.
It was 2020,
great. But we did utilize the time that we had. We definitely did write the rest. What became the rest of the album, and
we pretty much realized it was not a good time to drop the music because. With everything going on in the world and just the state of everything, we were like, okay, well now we have endless time to tweak and work on this.
We didn't want to get lost in the mix trying to just rush it,
Yeah. Also, with that experience though, it like really did help shape the other songs that were written for the record, like Better Off, I would say.
Yeah.
And
I would also say, even though the album came out like. Closer to the end of the COVID era, that I still consider that album like a COVID era album. It takes me back to like that time whenever we were writing it and the mind state, like the state of our thoughts and just everything going on. It's just kind of a dark place for everybody. So it's
definitely a positive
capsule.
Definitely a positive thing to have out of that shit though.
For sure. And we are thankful that we got, that we had the time to work on it and really make it what we wanted, and to add the songs that we added, and it would have not been the same record. So I'm glad that we had the time, but it also sucked big time. It was just like complete halt, like all momentum just stopping and just everything just coming to a complete screeching halt, which every band that was active experienced that too, and it was not a great feeling. We were like, well, we don't even know if we'll ever even be able to perform this thing anymore. Like, we don't know what's going to happen with anything right now.
Yeah.
But we were still going to do it anyway, so We were gonna write it no matter what. But
yeah, was it tough being? I don't know exactly what Texas lockdown was like, but I imagine Texas was more open than like I was in Philly and then DC. I imagine you guys were more open than that. Like
definitely a bit more lenient.
Yeah, is it tough being like we could do stuff here, but we can't go elsewhere in the country and be free, or are you still?
I mean, it did get to the point where we couldn't do it. Like we couldn't do anything.
The beginning of it wasn't near as bad. But like
the first, it was like the first month. It was like, oh, nothing's gonna happen to us, basically. And then it was like, oh, just kidding. Like, yeah, everything was closed. But I mean, you know,
they were still lenient though. Like it took about 2 to 3 months, and then they started opening back up, like slowly.
Yeah.
So that was like
at like half capacity or whatever, the 20% capacity or something like that, and they started slowly. Doing that, and everybody had to wear masks, obviously, and all that stuff.
Yeah,
it was odd though, but
yeah,
it was super odd.
It was weird.
It pretty much got us like it got you, but not maybe to the same extent. Like we do have a lot more like spread out area, I suppose, where we're from, but they did. It was about a month and a half in. They were like, okay, yeah, everybody has to quit doing everything. This is obviously an issue that's not going to go away, you know.
No.
Toilet paper was gone completely. We had a toilet paper crisis.
In the whole country.
It was brutal. Because it was like, okay, what the hell? And then as soon as the toilet paper thing happened, we needed toilet paper. And it was like, why is this a problem?
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody was safe.
Cool. Sorry.
We were not ready for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you guys end up with Sharptone Records?
Interesting.
It's very interesting.
Sal, our A&R, found us on Instagram through an Instagram ad, and like every band dreams of this happening, but he messaged us. We actually did not know that he was an A&R. We just thought he was some random guy. We're just like, hey, we're just talking to this random guy on the internet. And after like a little conversation, he was like, "Oh, by the way, I'm an A&R at Sharptone Records," and we were like, "Oh man, I think we didn't say anything stupid." Thank God. Thank God we didn't just blow this guy off or just be assholes or say.
Yeah.
I texted Nick at like 7 a.m. and I was like, "Hey, is this real?" He's like, "I think so." I was like, "Okay."
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, it's all she wrote from there. I mean, we kept talking to him, of course, for a few more months afterwards, but that's where we ended up, and it's been awesome since. I mean, we're all like really into a lot of the Sharptone bands as well, like Love and Holding Absence and
Caskets.
Yeah, Caskets.
We came with Roman.
Yeah, so I mean, they have a lot of good people on their roster we already like really look up to and like, you know, would love to play with even, you know. So I mean, I think it just
absolutely,
it made sense that was where we ended up, considering not only did they hit us up first, it was just, you know,
that like Sharptone was in our heads like, oh, what's a dream label, you know, for us to get our, you know, start. Sharptone that was definitely one of the top.
I mean, we
ones.
mentioned it. Yeah, that was where we wanted to go. It was on the list. So,
and they just have a great reputation, and everybody that works there is just fantastic. They care, and they know what they're doing. Everybody's got tons of experience, and yeah, I mean,
it's been a great experience so far for sure.
We're very, very thankful for them. Yeah, we're still new. We're still like we're a baby band for them, but I mean.
Yeah.
I love the excitement that we get.
Yeah,
from them
everybody's super excited up there at the label, and it's been great, man. It's been great.
Well, all of my friends live in my phone. They try to call me, but I guess I'm never home. I'm sorry if you think that I don't care, but maybe I don't want to say what.
The new album's called Self Defeater, EP on Sharptone. What was after the full length comes out? I mean, last year. When did you start diving into this EP?
Like almost immediately after we're done writing the other one.
Yeah. We were already working on another song that we just had ideas for, and sometimes I'll be writing a riff in a separate room than him. He'll be writing one, and it ends up being like where it works together for the song. And so from there on, we just started trucking for the next EP. And it was pretty much how we've been going ever since. Like, we were already writing for another record, we just always are writing. So the process was just very,
it was quick for sure.
Quick and churning.
Yeah. Why an EP?
We felt like it was just the right thing to do to bridge the gap of like when you think it's right was, and like where we were then, and to where we're going and the future of the band and the things we're looking forward to doing. And also, just being able to, like, working with Machine, we had a lot more songs, but we decided to narrow it down to some of the better, stronger tracks, and we ended up with 6, and we were just like, that's a solid EP right there. I mean, it just felt good, and listening to all the 6 tracks together as a whole just seemed right. I mean,
I think with what the tone we were going for, I think we really kind of nailed it on the head with just going with 6 songs and just really just punching it in the face, like just aggression all the way through, balls to the wall. Like, there's still things from our previous album that you'll hear on this EP, but it's way more driving, way more pissed off, and energetic and straight to the point.
I feel like it gives just more of a window of like what we can do as well. Like the first album may have been more shoegazy, versus this one is more like, I feel like it has a lot more attack and hits you more in the face. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just trying to like, show different elements of what we can do with callbacks to what we've already done.
Yeah, and like with people's musical attention span, like 6-song EP is probably a good like debut, anyways, to get people interested,
especially for a label,
Yeah,
right, and just with the label and everything. 6 songs. It's a good start for us, and we're already working on more stuff. We're already working on another full length, basically, right now.
Nice.
So, well, not right now. Right now, we're actually at our tour manager's house.
But we're hoping it lays a good base and foundation. So
he has this random thing sitting by. I don't know what this is.
It's a squash.
It's a squash.
It's a stress ball. So,
but hopefully it lays a good foundation for the actual full length with the label and everything. So
yeah. What are your lyrical inspirations when writing, and especially on this EP?
Say a lot of wordplay.
Yeah, we use a lot of
lyric.
Yeah.
Like artist wise.
Yeah.
I'd probably say, I mean, of course, there's always Deftones and Chino, like, but I mean,
not even that.
I would
say
honestly,
Chino's probably the least one. That Chino's always on he's on the shapes and the colors.
I mean, as far as like just some melody wise.
Yeah, I mean, melody wise,
but it's a lot more. It's hard to say because it's like, we were listening to a lot of things at the time, but we were just really writing what was best for the song. So.
I mean, honestly, like whenever we're deep into working on the songs and everything, we're not really listening to a lot of other music, really. I mean, when we're like really working on everything, so it's hard to say who in the moment would be inspiring, but
and I mean, at the same time though, like on the other hand, I mean, we kind of do, but it's not like anything that we are hard listening to. We're just listening to a lot of things, and maybe something from here and there kind of inspires a certain part or whatever like that. But, we're pretty much honed in to what we feel the song needs.
Yeah.
And just kind of like thinking outside the box, but also staying true to what we're doing.
Yeah.
But certainly not really thinking of anybody.
Sure. I just not like, taking from real life, or like, I don't know, some people are like,
definitely real life. It's all real life stuff.
Yeah.
For it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's funny. Chino, I love Chino as a vocalist. His lyrics are kind of fucking awful, right? Like,
What is
That's why I was surprised when you said that.
No, I was saying for like melody wise.
I feel like every band ever's like default is just Deftones. We're just gonna say Deftones. But.
Yeah. Charles, how did you end up coming along to play bass in the band?
Yeah.
So it was kind of another DM sliding situation. Our tour manager, Aaron, he lives here in Austin. I live in LA. I met him while I was playing with other bands in LA, and the band that he was staying with was a mutual friend of mine, and this was like 3 years ago though. So we just stayed connected and stayed in contact. But like the last year and a half, I had freshly quit my day job and just started posting like a fuck ton of bass covers. So I think I was just bombarding his and everyone else's feed with bass videos, and so he hit me up and was like, would you be down for a tour? And I said yes. And then I checked out the music and I was like, oh my god, this is the stuff, this is exactly what I listen to. This is the kind of stuff I've been writing myself, for the last fucking 10 years. And we all get along, and it's been great, man. It's been really cool.
He's awesome. We love him.
He's killing it, man.
They're adopting me as a Texan. I'm slowly morphing from LA to Texas.
Dude, he's about to start saying y'all and fixing to, like, all the other stuff that we say in Texas.
Nice.
That's not grammatically correct.
Yeah.
Are you
let go of dude and for sure and my guy and all that stuff. That's all going on.
I mean, we still say dude and guy.
Yeah.
There's a few things that, it's like a little even trade.
Yeah.
Nice. The EP's out this Friday. You guys are on tour. I assume after that things settle down for the holidays. You have big plans for 2024? Just more time on the road or writing?
Yeah, we're not really sure. We're planning some things, but not a whole lot we can say. But we think that it's going to be our biggest year yet.
Got a lot of stuff being worked on for sure.
Keep your excuses far from me. And I have no room for sympathy. I don't need your fucking help. I'll do it by myself. So keep your existence far from me. I don't need you no more.
Thanks for listening to As the Story Grows. Our intro music was written and composed by Jeremy Hunt. The As the Story Grows theme is by Bob Nana. If you like what you hear, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and give us a rating and review. If you'd like to support the show financially, you can join us at patreon.com/asthestorygrows. Be a part of our community and join the ongoing conversation over on Discord. If you enjoy this episode, share it on social media with your friends. Much appreciated, and thanks for listening.
I never felt so young and alive as when I'm diving into a tune. And now I'm learning as I listen along, and the wheels are turning, and I started a song. One good word and I'm gone. Oh, as the story grows. better. What's that word?